I am not one of those people who goes around chasing the highest interest rate, signing up for a new bank account every single month. I mean, who has time for that, right? But today, finally, it's been a few years, I have signed up for a brand new high interest savings account. Actually, I signed up for two. So I wanted to share with you the best ones out there right now and where you should think about putting your money. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. I'm Rich Smith, and one of the money lessons you never learn in school is how banks will hold your money for years, decades, and barely pay you any interest. That's right. If you don't believe me, go check right now. Log into your online bank account, pull up that statement, and see exactly how much interest you've earned on your money in the past week, the past month, or even the past year. Now, of course, interest rates are climbing and they look like they're going to continue to go up. So now the banks are finally offering higher interest rates for specifically savings accounts, the type of rates we haven't seen in years. So before I dive too far into where you might want to put your money, drop a like for this video. Number one, the first bank I want you to consider, I call it like Old Faithful for me. Way back in the day, one of my first credit cards ever was a Discover credit card. And then they started to offer these high interest savings accounts. And I decided to open up ones for each kind of savings goal that I had. So for example, I might have one that would say like new car fund. And then I would have another one that would say like vacation. And over the years, I've kept these open and I've sort of set up automatic transfers so that just a little bit of money each and every week goes into these funds. Now, usually, if you haven't heard this term of a sinking fund, you set these up so when it comes time to book that vacation, you have more than enough money. And of course, if you're earning interest on those funds, then over the years, maybe you get like a free vacation or you get like an extra $1,000. As you can see here, they say that you can earn over 5 times the national average right now on one of their online savings accounts. Now, one of the best things is there is absolutely no minimum deposit. You don't have to set up any sort of direct deposit either. And there are no fees attached to having one of these. So if you open one, kind of like I did, you could even open multiple ones and kind of save for all those different aspects of life. And it doesn't really matter if you have like $100 in there or you want to save a few thousand. Now, at the time of this recording, literally, I just got an email today saying that they are again increasing the rate of the online savings account to 3.9%. Of course, I don't want to lose anybody with like how all these percentages work. So just to sort of break it down for you to use like nice round numbers, we're real close to that 4%. And let's just say you open the account and you stick $1,000 in there. If you don't put another penny in there and the rate stays exactly the same, that 3.9%, well, at the end of 12 months, you would have earned $40, real close to $40, like $1 less in interest. So I'll leave a link down below in the description to all of these if you want to learn more. I'm going to move on to the next one. But again, what I love about Discover is it's essentially no fees, no minimums, and it is a very user-friendly website. For number two, it is an old favorite of mine. Actually, I stopped using them about 2 years ago because they started to, of course, offer a good interest rate, but there were a few extra boxes that you have to check in order to get that interest rate. So let's dive into it. I am talking about SoFi's high yield savings account. Now, SoFi gets a little confusing for me. Let me explain real quick. You'd be like, Rich, a savings account that gives you interest. What's confusing about that? Well, the devil's in the details. If you take a look right here, you can see that they are offering what they say 10 times the national average is when compared to other savings balances and savings interest rates. Now, at the time of this recording, that is at 4.2%, so a little bit higher than our first one. But when I mentioned that it is complicated, they want you to actually have and open both a checking and a savings account. Now, to get that 4.2%, you have to sort of maintain both of those accounts and sign up for direct deposit. Now, right there, I'm kind of like, oh, now I got to sign up for an account and I got to sign up for maybe a second account and direct deposit. Well, the juice might be worth the squeeze because they give you about a month. I think right now at the time of this recording, it's like a 25-day window after you sign up. And based on the amount of that direct deposit, if you like put in $1,000 or more, up to I think $4,999, they're going to give you like a $50 bonus. Now, for someone that earns a little bit more money, if you go ahead and open up these accounts and you sign up for direct deposit, so long as that direct deposit totals more than $5,000, like in that first month, 25 days, they're actually going to give you a sign-up bonus of $250. Now, I mentioned it before. I'll leave a link down below in the description. And just to sort of help you streamline your thought process, if you're thinking about SoFi, if you decide to sign up for one of their high-interest savings accounts, I think they basically automatically sign you up for a checking account. And that checking account actually gets a little bit of interest also, just over 1%. So you have some incentives here: no fees, no monthly maintenance requirements, no minimum balances. But again, you do want to take into consideration if you're not going to hit those thresholds, like put in $5,000 or more, then maybe this is not the account for you. Moving on, we finally get to the high interest savings account that I actually signed up for. My wife and I both have separate tax savings accounts. One's going to be for things like the house, the insurance for the house, and then one's going to be for quarterly tax payments. We make those estimated tax payments. And I found out that a bank that I've been using anyway, CIT Bank, has another level of savings account that I could just switch to and all of a sudden be earning, at the time of this recording, 4.85%. Now remember, I said that I already have these accounts, and each and every month we make transfers for when that tax bill comes. Here in our home state of New York, they send out 2 tax bills a year. One is for essentially like county taxes. The other is going to be for school taxes. I also basically use that account as like an escrow account, if you will. So when I get an annual home insurance bill, we pay those premiums out of that account. And I'm almost embarrassed to say that I was in an account that was earning next to nothing, and they have this platinum savings account where now I'm going to earn close to 5%. And likewise, if any of my small business owners out there have to pay quarterly estimated taxes, for your personal return, well, having that money, whether it is thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in an account that's earning 5% is actually going to be like a really, really good thing to have at the end of the year. Now, I will say that this platinum savings account with CIT Bank is not for everyone. There is a minimum balance to open it, which is $100. And unfortunately, you don't actually get that 4.85% until you have $5,000 or more. Now, because I was talking about paying quarterly taxes and house taxes, we did have those amounts saved. So I simply opened the new account, transferred all the funds right within the CIT Bank interface, and now we are earning close to 4.85% APY. And for those of you that don't have that much money like right away, once you hit that $5,000 threshold, then they do bump you up to that higher percent. Unfortunately, though, it is pretty low until you get there at less than 1%. Okay, a big picture, key takeaways. You are listening to a guy who does not hop around opening all these new bank accounts. Now, if you are new to the world of personal finance, if you're on your own financial independence journey, then it can be very attractive to sign up for every single like direct deposit deal and almost keep your own little spreadsheet. I know people out there that do that. But how much time in the day do you really have to hop around from savings account to savings account and put in with HR that you're changing your direct deposit yet again? So sometimes that path of least resistance is the one you want to sign up for and stick with for hopefully, years to come. So if I had to reflect and think about the ones that I'm actually going to sign up with and keep, I am definitely hanging on to my Discover high yield savings accounts. I like that they literally let me name them, like what they're for, vacation, new car. And the interest rate tends to be pretty fair. Of course, it looks like they could bump it up a little bit, and I do expect that they will in the coming months. But they have great customer service, and so I think I'm going to stick with them for at least those categories I mentioned earlier. And the only other one that I personally would definitely kind of look to sign up for would be the CIT Bank. They have a few features I've noticed, like free outgoing wires. Maybe that doesn't really help or apply to everybody out there, but a lot of banks charge for features like that. So if I'm going to keep like a chunk of money that I know I just don't want to touch, it's for a specific purpose, and they're going to give me a very competitive interest rate, then I'm going to be happy to stick my money in there. And at the end of the year, hopefully see, a couple hundred, maybe even a few $1,000s in interest coming our way. But let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. I'm sure I've missed one. I'm sure you have your favorites. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. And hey, if you made it to the end of this video, make sure you drop a like, you hit that like button. We got to get more views and more people out there seeing these types of videos. And of course, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.